Okay, we're finishing off Yehi Kavod that we started yesterday, Be'ezus Hashem. So, as I mentioned yesterday, which is important to remember, that there are 21 mentions of the Ribono Shel Olam's name over here. I'm not going to go through them now one by one, but I just want to point out a few things. We'll run through most of it quickly, just because I want to go through it, but we'll try to point out the few psukim that I specifically want to point out. I think we were up to, if I'm not mistaken, we did Yehi Shem Hashem Avarech Ma'atav Ad Olam. That's, I think, what we did yesterday. Is that right? So we continue. Mimizrach Shem Eshad B'voy Muhulu Shem Hashem. What we are saying over here is from the time that the sun rises in the morning until it eventually sets at the end of the day, the Ribono Shel Olam is constantly being praised. It's such an amazing thing how we are saying that at every moment of the day we are praising Hashem. Ram al Kol Goyim Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu is higher than all the nations. Al Hashemayim Kavod Hashem Shimcha Li'olam Hashem Zichracha L'dor V'dor. Interestingly enough, Victor Miller points out in his Sefer about the idea of Ramal Kol Goyim Hashem Al Hashemayim Kavod, that he says that we are saying that the Ribono Shel Olam here is not just a manhig, a leader, on everything that is Yiddishkeit and Jewish and the Yidden, but also on every creature and every goy as well, which is something, a very, very big statement. We now say, Hashem b'shamayim mechin gisum achzor b'chom b'shala yismuchu hashamayim v'sogel haaretz. Right, the heavens will be glad and will be rejoicing in the earth. Vayomer v'goyim Hashem molach, Hashem melach, Hashem molach, Hashem yimloch le'olam v'ed. It's an amazing thing that we are saying that there will be a proclamation. Amazing. Everybody will announce and everybody will say aloud and publicly exclaim that there's a Ribono Shel Olam. He was the king, he is the king, he always will be the king. Right? And exactly how that works. Hashem melech, molach, and yimloch. Right? The different times. Hashem melech, olam v'ed, of the goyim ha'artzoi. Even when the goyim eventually leave, Hashem eifa atzas goyim, heini machshois amim. Rabbois machshovois belev ish. This is an important one, Rabbi Isai. V'atzas Hashem hisakum. Many times in our lives, we have our own personal plans of what we think should be done and how it should be done. Many of the goyim, specifically over the history of time, and it's been proven that many of them had plans against Klal Yisrael, or anything for that matter, and it never worked out, because ultimately the Ribono Shel Olam's plans win and remain more than anything else. Atzas Hashem la'olam tamoid. The Eitzah, the wisdom and the counsel of the Ribono Shel Olam will always stay. Machshavos libor l'dor v'dor. The designs of the heart from generation to generation. Ki hu Omar Yehi. Because remember, this is something that we said earlier on by Baruch Sha'ama. It was the Ribono Shel Olam that said that it should be. Meaning, what came to be in the world is as a result of the Ribono Shel Olam saying that it comes into the world. Hu tziva v'yamoid. The Ribono Shel Olam gave a tzivoy. He gave a command and it happened. Ki bochar Hashem b'tzion ival ha'moishavloi. The Ribono Shel Olam picked Tzion, Yerushalayim, Eretz Yisrael as the place, and this is our place and for our nation. Ki yakei bochar lo yah. Yisrael is skulasai ki la yitos Hashem amoy v'nachlozoi lo yazov. The Ribono Shel Olam has never and will never forsake his nation. And as I pointed out to someone that I spoke to just not so long ago, when he said to me the following statement, he said, how do we know that this religion is really true? Maybe we're going to get up there and they're going to say, ha, wrong one. You guys got it wrong. They had it right. I'm sure everybody, without admitting it, has had at some point in their life such a thought, right? And there's many, many examples, and I give them a whole answer, which I'm not going into now. But one idea is based on what we're saying over here, and that is the Ribono Shel Olam has never abandoned Klal Yisrael. That means Klal Yisrael have endured and remained over all the other nations and empires that were the greatest and the biggest and the most powerful that have completely crumbled and been crushed down. Klal Yisrael are still here. What greater riot do you have that the Ribono Shel Olam chose us, the tiny, minute nation of the smallest nations of the world, and we are still here. That's incredible. We know that the Ribono Shel Olam always forgives. We may do any aveira, we may do anything that's terrible, but at the end of the day, Ribono Shel Olam always forgives us. And not only that, he manages to, again, kaviyachol, the anger we don't understand on the Ribono Shel Olam's madrigas and levels and understanding, but on a simple level, The Rebbeinu Shalom never gets angry with us, and if he does, he withdraws it immediately. Right, and there will never be a Chamos, is like a war. Hashem Oshia Melech Yanenu v'Yom Kireinu. We say, Rebbeinu Shalom, save us and answer the day that we call you. With Rebbeinu Shalom, we've just said 21 times Hashem's name. There was incredible uplifting tefillah, announcing that Rebbeinu Shalom, you were, you are, and you always will be the Melech. Everything comes from you. All the nations will eventually proclaim that you are the Melech, and that's an amazing thing. Rebbeinu Shalom, everything that you advise stays. Us, Klal Yisrael, as a nation, we stay, and that's what's going on over here. Mitzvah Hashem, tomorrow we're going to start Bli Neder, the Gavaldige Tefillah of Ashrei Yoshe Veisecha, which we'll do tomorrow. Be'ez Hashem.